Hello and welcome to Saturday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I know that a number of people watching this video will have first found this channel because they watched the Miracle Sudoku, that incredible puzzle from all those years ago by Mitchell Lee, which just featured a 1 and a 2 in the grid. Now, over the years since then, we've featured a number of puzzles with so-called miracle-esque qualities, and this one by Scruffamudda is what I'm going to be attempting in today's video. It's called Limiting Factors, and it has it's got one of these rule sets where you read it and just think, well, that can't be enough. That cannot be enough information in this rule set to make this puzzle uniquely solvable by a human being. I will read you the rules. So let's go through. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. So far, so normal. Orthogonally adjacent digits must not be consecutive. So if that square's a 2, you couldn't put a 3 or a 1 in any of those squares. Orthogonally adjacent means basically two cells that share an edge. So if this is 2, in order to not have, if this was 1 or 3, we'd be able to make a consecutive domino, and that's against the rules of the puzzle. Now that is quite a big restriction, but it's not massive. Now the next rule says a digit in a circle or square must not be a multiple or divisor of any orthogonally adjacent digit. So if we take this cell for example, what that's saying is we look at those 3 cells, and none of these 3 cells can be a multiple or divisor of whatever we put in that cell. So if we put 3 into that cell, none of these cells could be 6 or 9, because they would obviously be a multiple of 3. In fact, let's just work through it together, shall we? None of these could be a 1, because 1 is a divisor of 3. I suppose they couldn't be 2 because of the orthogonally adjacent rules must not be consecutive. So it does start to appear restrictive. So they couldn't be 2, they couldn't be 4 because they would be consecutive, but they could be 5. They could be 7. They could be 8. In fact, maybe they have to be 5, 7, and 8 if that square is a 3, but that square probably isn't a 3. Anyway, that's one rule. And then grey circles contain odd digits, so we've got 3 of these, and grey squares contain even digits. And that is literally that. That is all the rules. We've done the rules in a different... Normally I do the rules just before I start the puzzle. But in order to sort of showcase exactly how miracle-esque this puzzle is, we did them first today. It really doesn't seem very much, does it? And we've had a number of recommendations, including from somebody who said this is their favourite puzzle they have ever solved, which always makes you sort of sit up and think, oh, it must have something about it. Now, I did look at it on Logic Masters Germany, where there are 2 interesting things about it. Firstly, it doesn't have a rating. Sorry, it does have a rating. It doesn't have a difficulty. Oh, hang on. How can that be true? It must have, if it's got a rating. No, what I was going to say, and I'm now confused myself. Maybe I've got this wrong. Well, its beauty rating, so-called beauty rating, is only 82%. Now, most puzzles that we feature on the channel have to be up in the sort of 90, 95, 99, that sort of range, because there are so many amazing Sudokus that are being created each and every day at the moment. So 82% would ordinarily be quite low, but clearly, if you actually look at the comments on the puzzle, they're fantastic. So I don't know whether somebody or some bodies out there are sort of artificially marking down puzzles, but you won't get past our testers. Our testers try the puzzles anyway, and they find out whether they're any good. And they say, this is great. So I'm going to have a look at it in a moment or two's time. If I could take a moment or two longer, though, I've got some lovely news for you. Coming up to Christmas, and Sandra and Nala, who make amazing Fog-Of-War puzzles, have made a Christmas advent calendar. Isn't this fantastic? Let me see if I've got it here. Here we go. This is it. Nala's Adventures Calendar 2023. You can get this for free. It's on our Patreon, but not behind the paywall. Just go download it. It's a PDF file, and look at this. Basically, on the correct day of December, now we're going to cheat here because I want to show you how this works. You can click one of these numbers and it will take you, let's click 14. Oh, it's not quite going to be on the screen, but hopefully you can see, look, door number 14, and you get a puzzle. You get a puzzle as a present. Isn't it fantastic? So Sandra and Nala did that. They wanted to do this for the community, for the Sudoku community. Isn't that absolutely fantastic? So this is a Christmas present from Sandra and Nala that we're going to share with you. Apparently this puzzle in which the numbers are set as a sort of advent calendar, this is also a puzzle. That's Round Planer has made this puzzle, and there's some thanks down there to the testers, Chili, Panthera, Analytical Ninja, and Cirxemic, I don't know that name, but obviously, oh, you can see Nala in the background, so Cirxemic has helped with the cosmetics. So anyway, that is something I wholly commend to you. I think that would be, we've got to prepare. Advent calendars are nearly upon us, aren't they? Now, other news, over on our Kickstarter, please do check that out. That's got Sandra and Nala connotations as well, because Sandra and Nala have made 10 Fog-Of-War Sudokus. This is the perfect Christmas present for the puzzle nerd. It is a novel, or a novella, that's quite long, that's being written by Peter C. Hayward, and it's sort of fitted around these 10 Fog-Of-War Sudoku puzzles, and then there's going to be bonus puzzles. We've already got Jay Dyer and Chili, I think, for the first two, and we're closing in on the third. So it's going to be just a Sudoku novella festival with some beautiful art, as you can see as well, and it will be delivered in time for Christmas. So we think that's quite a good thing to have a look at. So I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. And then I would like to say thank you to Jill for her email, including the bird pictures. I did try and get the bird pictures ready for this, but they seem to keep crashing my machine, so I got a bit scared of them. But Jill watches with the birds, so I don't know if the birds actually enjoy Sudoku, but maybe they do. Who knows? And I've got some birthdays to do, so I'm going to start with Rich. Well, Richard, it was your birthday yesterday, but I only found out this morning, so it's not my fault that I didn't wish you a happy 34th birthday. And you've watched almost every video every day since the start of COVID. Wow. Thank you very much, Richard, for spending so much time with us. And you're over there in Canada, and I hope you get good chocolate cake in Canada. I'm sure you do. And then next, a birthday that is today is Steph. Steph, you've turned 31 today, and I know this because your girlfriend Ines wrote to us from, now I'm not going to be able to pronounce this. I will try though. Nijmegen, maybe, or Nijmegen in the Netherlands. Now I've started to write something here and I've stopped. What was I going to write here? Oh, yes, no, I remember because I read the email. Yes, so Ines has been trying to convince Steph for years that the vocabulary that she uses is actually kosher. So she will use words like recalcitrant, and Steph will say that's not a word. And because I use words like that, she is able to make her case more forthrightly. Well, it is. You know, there are many things that are recalcitrant in the world of Sudoku, Steph. That amused me quite a lot. But Steph, I hope you have a good day today with chocolate cake, of course. I've already done the rules to limiting factors, so we can literally kick straight into Scruffamudda's puzzle. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking and see. Well, actually, I say let's get cracking. I've got a Scooby-Doo how to start this. Right. Now, so it's got to be about these cells, hasn't it? So these cells can never have a multiple or divisor. So 1 can never be near these cells, because 1 will always be an exact divisor, won't it? Whatever we put into the by the same token, you can't put 1 into the odd circles, because if you do, whatever number is orthogonally adjacent to the 1 will obviously be a multiple of 1. So 1 is going to be a bit restricted in, well, it is very restricted in box 2, And I think it's going to be quite restricted. It is quite restricted. Ah, no, it's very restricted in box 5 because it can't go next to that one either. Right, now let's keep going with this. So ones are the place to... Oh, yes, look. If we're really careful about where we put the ones in this box, not here, not next to this one, not next to this one, not next to this one, only one of 3 places. Now, what about... Well, no, well, hang on. If the one is in this row, okay, it didn't work quite as well in box 1. I don't think. I think we've got 4 possible positions for ones, and I'm not. If I was Mark, I'd do this. I'm not doing that. Oh no, hang on. I want to keep some of these ones. No. Hang on, let me think about this. So 1, now wherever you put 1, nah, okay, so 2 is not there. That's the most minor. 2, oh actually, 2 in this box can't be in those squares either, but 2 could be in the squares in this box. So maybe 2 in this box cannot be in any of those cells because 2 is not odd and it can't be next to a 1. And obviously if we put the 2 there, it will be next to the 1 on one side of it. So 2 is in one of those 6 cells. I'm not going to pencil mark that either. This doesn't feel to me like how you do the puzzle, to be honest. I'm not getting nearly enough of a restriction. Well, okay, let's try. Because we've managed to eliminate 1 from these 2 circles, which contain odd digits. Both of these odd digits, therefore, are from 3, 5, 7, and 9. So, now when we tried 3 in there, it was restricted, wasn't it, I think? Because we were able to eliminate... Well, it can't have 2 or 4 orthogonally adjacent to it by the rule. It can have 5. Obviously it can't have 1. It can't be 3. There would be 2 3s in the box. It can't be 6 or 9. So it's 5. This would be a 5, 7, 8 triple. Now, I don't... Okay, that's one number. Let's try 5 in there. Just have a think about how that might work then. So maybe the odd numbers always give you a triple. No, that's not true. That's obviously not true, actually. Okay. Because, right, imagine this wasn't 3. Imagine it was 5, 7, or 9. I've realised it works like a black dot, a black Kropke dot. Because 5, 7, and 9 have no multiples and no divisors that are other Sudoku digits. Whereas 3 is rather nice, because 3 takes out of the equation 6 and 9, because... You know, you can multiply it up to get other Sudoku numbers. You can't multiply any of these numbers by even 2 and get another Sudoku number. You certainly can't divide them by anything and get another Sudoku number, apart from, I suppose, if you divide 5 by 5, you get a 1. But we know that 1 can't be near here anyway. Okay, right. So I'm actually, therefore... Well, if either of these was 3, there would be a restriction, but why do they have to be 3? And let's just, I mean, I think my logic must be right. So if we were to try 5 in here, what are the options? Well, 1 isn't an option, but 2 is an option. 3 is an option. 4, 5, 6 are not possible. 7 is possible. 8 is possible. 9, I mean, it's comedy. It's a comedy number of options. So, okay, so I'm going to try even digits instead then. Let's think about even digits. So let's do it here. So if this was an even digit and it was a square, what does that mean? We can't put 1 or 3 next to it. We can't put 4, 6 or 8 next to it, because obviously 4, 6 and 8 are all multiples of 2. So, okay, so I want to say that 2 has to be surrounded by 5, 7 and 9. I'm just going to check that. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? So 2 is restricted. So no, it doesn't work. I was thinking maybe because it's on the edge of a box. I mean, obviously, therefore, you could... Maybe this is why... No, it's not going to be. What I was about to say was just such nonsense. I'm not prepared to repeat it. Brain, do not feed my mouth nonsense. That's not good. Okay, so 2 has 5, 7 and 9 around it. Let's just check 4, whether that does anything different. I don't... Well, again, it can't have 1 next to it, can it? So what can we put next to it? We can't put 2 next to it. That's a divisor. 3, 4, 5... Ah, here we go. 4 is restricted in a way I hadn't appreciated. Because you can't put 1, 2, 3 or 5 next to it. Or 8, 6, 7, 9 is all you get. Okay, so... So that's interesting, but not really... You could have 2 and 4 next to each other in these, because these 2 squares would, you'd then have to pick, these would have to be 7 and 9. Let's try it. I'm just going to have a look at 6. I think 6 is going to be less restricted, but I'm prepared to be proved wrong. So 1 we can't put next to it, 2 we can't, that's a divisor, 3 is a divisor, 4 is fine, 5, 6, 7 get taken out by the consecutive rule. 8 can... Well, actually, no, it's the same, is it? This has also got 3 options, 2 of which are even. So if you put 6 there, at least 1... Hang on. How does that work? Okay, 9 would have to go in one of these squares. Because you couldn't put 2 with 6. Because obviously from 2's perspective, these 2 squares need to be 5s, 7s and 9s. But the only one of those that's valid from a 6's perspective is 9. So you couldn't fill it. So if one of these is 6... The other one has to be 4 or 8. Well, 4 doesn't work then. Oh, this is weird. They cancel each other out, but 8 might be the way. We can do this. I'm just going to look at 8 now. I'm sorry, I'm building a sort of a tribe of possibilities down the right-hand side. Let's try 8. So 8 can't be next to 1 or 2. 2's a divisor. 3 it can be. 4 it can't be, that's a divisor. 5 it can be. 6 it can be. 7, 8, 9 it can't be. So each even digit always has exactly 3 possibilities. So our task is going to be to find 2 even digits that can share cells such that their 3 options, have at least 2 options in common. Now, how do we... Well, hang on. So 6 is just... No, 6 is impossible. 6 is impossible. And the way to see that... well, imagine this was a 6, and let's look at the possibilities for what surrounds a 6. It's 4s, 8s and 9s. So these squares have to be from 4, 8 and 9. Which means one of these will have... At least one of these will have to be an even digit. And there's just no possibility of this. Well, let's work through it. Actually, let's do it very diligently. So, if this is 6 and we make this 2, you can see that the combination 5, 7 and 9 and 4, 8 and 9 don't have 2 in common. So it's not 2, which means this has to be 4 or 8. But if this is 4, the options for here are 6, 7 and 9. Well, it's not 6 because 6 is there, so it's 7 and 9, and that's... doesn't have 2 overlaps with 6. If it's 8 here, then we know that this is a 4-9 pair from the 6's perspective, and the 8 just says, bleh, I can't deal with that at all. So 6, this is great. Well, it's not great, but it's something. These are from these. We can just take 6 out. Therefore, it's not possible for this to work. Now. This is tricky actually now, isn't it? It does, well, 8 doesn't work now. So now we've taken 6. Yeah, so now we've taken 6 out of these. You've got, if you did put 8, let's say we put 8 in this one, well, you can see the options for these squares from an 8's perspective are 3, 5 and 6. But none of 2 and 4 have 6 ever as an option. So you'd have to, and neither of them have 3 and 5 as an option. 2's the closest you get. It has 1, 5 as an option. So it doesn't work. So in fact, these are a 2-4 pair. And that means, I think I'm going to leave these. I'm going to leave these here at the moment, if that's okay, because they might be useful for this one. But if we have to do Sudoku in this part of the grid, we're going to have to start deleting this. But 2 and 4, the combinations we've got in common are 7 and 9. So these are a 7-9 pair. Right, this is a nonsense 5, isn't it? We don't know what that is. I don't know quite why I had 5 in a corner mark there. Okay, so this part of the grid has valid pencil marks at the moment. Let's make it light green. Oh no, that's horrible, horribly garish. Anyway, let's just remember, this part of the grid has valid pencil marks. Okay, well, yes, we can limit this square and this square as well. Because if this is 2, we know the 7 and the 9 are hypothecated. That's a good word, Steph. If this is 2, the 7 and 9 are hypothecated to these two squares to cope with the 4's requirements in this square, which means this square would have to be the other digit, so that would be a 5. Whereas if this is a 4, the other digit is a 6. So this is always a 5-6 pair. And therefore, we haven't placed 1, 3 and 8. I can't use this 8 to do that. So this is 3 or 8. 1, 3 or 8 into these squares. And that one can't be 1 because of it's next to that one. Oh, well, this is lovely. 7 and 9. I've got a digit. 7 and 9. Whether the middle digit is 7 or 9, it can't be consecutive in a domino with an 8. And it would, if either of these were 8, it would be. So this is 8. And that is our first digit, look. And that means, I don't know, it means that's 2, 4 or 6, because it's even. But it has to be, yeah, okay. Well, you can see the only digits you're allowed to put next to 2's and 4's are 5's, 6's, 7's and 9's. And this has got an 8 next to it. So that's got to be a 6. Now 6 is allowed 4, 8's and 9's into these squares. It's quite a good memoir, isn't it? So that's not 8 anymore. This, do we know that they have to include an 8? Probably not, actually. And this is an odd digit, which is not a 1. So this is 3, 5, 7 or 9. Now, it's not 3, because if this was 3, it would. If this was 4, it would be consecutive with it. And if this was 9, 9 is a multiple of 3. So that's not 3. This is 5, 7 or 9. No, it's not, because there's a 6 here, which means that's a 6, that's a 5, that's not a 5 anymore. So now it's 7 or 9, and oh, see, I want to put a 6. Well, oh, hang on. Oh, this is bad. This is bad news, bears. This 5 can't be next to a 4, so I have to put 2 there, so that's 4. But now obviously I've got this is glaring at me a little bit. I think maybe this is the time when we're going to have to abandon ship, isn't it? On the right hand side of the grid. Okay, but we've established some principles which hopefully will help us. 6 is in one of those squares. Can 6 be next to 2 in a... No, 6 can't be next to 2 because 6 is a multiple of 2. 6 is in one of 2 cells by Sudoku in row 5. So this digit is 5, 7 or 9, because that's what we worked out could only go next to 2s that were in squares. That digit, I can't, was it 6? I think it, oh no, well hang on, no, it would have to be 7 or 9. Yes, oh look, this is odd, and it's in the combination with 4, which we know, well, I don't know this, but my recollection of the cross was that it only had 3 digits in it, and I can't see why 6 would be ruled out. So it says 6, 7 and 9, and that means that, which is odd, has to be 7 or 9. I've now got a 7-9 pair in column 5, and that square is odd and not 1 and not 7 or 9. That is 3 or 5. Well, we know if that's 3, it only had 3 options. Was it 5, 7 and 8 would surround it? If this is 3, this is a 5, 7 and 8. So this square couldn't be 7. This would be 5 or 8. Where's 2? Where's 2 in this box, actually? Especially if that's a 3. Well, this is lovely. This is lovely. Okay, I don't think I need to know what this is for this logic to work. Where's 2 in this box? Now, it's clearly not there. And I'm going to tell you it's not here. Because if it's here, on one side of it, there will be a 1 domino. So 2 is in one of these 3 squares in box 2. But how could this be a 1 now? If this is a 1, it shunts the 2 into one of these 2 squares where it will be adjacent to it. So that can't be a 1. This is a 1. That's lovely. It's lovely logic. I'm a bit disappointed it hasn't done more for me, actually. Oh no, this is great. This is great. Where this puzzle is just great. Where's 8 in this box? Can't go next to this ever, because that's a 7 or a 9. So it's not in those 2 squares. It's not there. That's 8. That doesn't affect what this can be, bizarrely. 8 must have been a digit that can be next to 5 and 3. Oh yeah, look. Where's 6 in this box now? I don't know, but it's in one of those squares. And whichever one it's in a potential domino. If this was 7, it would make a naughty domino. Don't make naughty dominoes. That's got to be 9. That's 7. That's 9. There's a 9 at the bottom of the grid. 9 can't be next to 8 by the domino rule. 7. Oh, funny fly noise up in my roof. Can we do the 1 and the 3 here? Sorry, let me just think about this for a second or two. This being a 9, what is that doing? That's restricting. It's restricting 3 in the box, isn't it? 3 can't now be next to the 9. So 3 is in one of these positions. If that was 3, it would be next to a 2. So this is not 3. None of these are 3. 3 is in one of 2 places. And if 3 is in one of 2 places, that can't be a 2 anymore. Because that will shunt the 3 here and create naughty dominoage. So 2 is in one of these. 3 is in one of these. Does that restrict 4 then? So 4 can't be here for the same reason that 2 couldn't be here. It would create a naughty domino just with 4 rather than 2. So 4 is in one of those squares. It's close, isn't it? I don't know. I'm not sure. What about that digit then? that digit can't be it can't be 1. It can't be 2, it would be next to 1. It can't be 3 because our 3s are pencil marked up there. It can't be 4 by Sudoku. Can it be 5? Maybe, actually. Maybe it can be 5. Oh, bobbins. And it can be 6. And it can't be 7, 8 or 9. Right, that digit is 5 or 6. Well, how... Ah, it's beautiful. Okay, so somehow this digit can only be 5 or 6, we've just worked out. But how would... if this digit is 5 now, it will be next to a 6 and make a naughty domino. We mustn't make naughty dominoes, so that's 3. This is great. This is great. This is 5 now. Because if this is 3 and this is 6, 6 is a multiple of it, so that's 5. Oh, 3 gives me this one and this one. Look, we're going to get things done at the bottom of the grid now. 2 6s and 8 as a triple. We can't put the 2 next to the 1. Can we do anything more? Oh, the 6 must be here now. So in this column, we've got to place 2, 4 and 7. Well, that's lovely. Okay, so we've got to put 2, 4 and 7 into these squares. 4 can't go next to 3, and 4 can't go next to 5. So 4 goes there, 2 goes there, 7 goes there. Bingo. Absolutely incredible. This square can only be 2 or 8. It's even and it sees 4 and 6. What do we have to put down there? 1, 5 and 9, I think, by Sudoku now. That can't be 9. It would be next to 8. I'm not seeing anything terribly good there. What do we need here? 2, 4 and 7. No, not 2, 4 and 7. 4, 4, 7. 4, oh, 3, 4 and... Oh, that's better. 3, 4 and 7. Well, let me tell you a story about 3, 4 and 7 when they go out together. If the 3 and the 4 are allowed to sit next to each other on the park bench, they behave entirely inappropriately. So the 7 has to sit between them in order to not create naughty dominoes. So that's a 3, 4 pair. That square is a 2 now because it can't be 6 or 8. This is beautiful, isn't it? It's just beautiful. 5 can't go next to 4. That's a 3, that's a 4. And... oh, bobbins. Has that stopped? No, that can't be 1 because it would be next to a 2. Yeah, it's very easy to miss these dominoes. At the moment, my brain is telling me that there are relationships in this box that I have not exploited fully. And I can't see them. Let's hope I'm not being shouted at here. Where do we think we look next then? Perhaps we look at... I'm going to look at 2 in this box, I think, which I can see is not in these squares. And presumably that can't be a 2. No, this is lovely again. It's this one. Right. Yeah, so it's the right question. Where is 2 in this box? It can't go there. It can't go here from pencil marking. And it can't go there, because if I do put 2 there, when I work out where the 1 goes, it's going to create naughty dominoage. So it's not there. So the 2 in theory is in one of these 2. But if the 2 was here, it would be next to an 8. And this is a squared 8, and 8 is a multiple of 2, so that's wrong. So this is 2. And now this can't be a 1. Well, that creates a naughty... In fact, that can't be a 1 either. There's too many naughty dominoes to keep track of. So now 1 is in one of these 3 squares, because it's been shunted right up to the top of box 1, or row 1, or no, box 1 really. Now, what's going on here then? 3. Where's 3 in that box? It's so smooth, isn't it? You can't put it next to 2. So oh, this is great. It goes there, and now you can't make that 2, or you create naughty dominoes. So this is 8. Now 8, we know from what we were doing on the right hand side, has only 3 possible neighbours, one of which must be a 3. So these squares are either 3, I want to say 5, that feels right, doesn't it? 6, I think. 6 feels like it can go in. Right, so that one sees 3 and 5, so that must be 6. It sees 5 here and 3 here. And this one might be able to be either of those things still. I can't quite see whether that's okay or not. 6 goes down there by Sudoku. What about 8 in this box then? Well, don't know. I don't know yet. Can we do more here? Is there some restriction? Where is... Yes, there is. Where's 4 in this box? Well, it's not next to 3. That means that actually is not a 4. And now 4, I think, has to go there only. So there is a 4. Well, this is a 4-6 pair. Now, that can never be next to 5, can it? So this has become 7 or 9. Oh, no, it hasn't. It's become 9, so that's 8. Good grief. Okay, so now I've not put 5 into this row. This has probably been all available for a while, actually. The way that unwound suggested to me I'd overlooked some Sudoku. I'm sorry about that. 1, 5 and 8 here. There are no consecutive pairs. But we can't put 8 next to the 9. And these squares, well, these squares are definitely going to have something. 2, 3 and 7. I could see 2 and 3 were in these squares, and we know, oh no, it's 3 and 4 down here. But 2 and 3 are the same. It's that 3. That 3 is a devil. So this has got to be a 7 to keep the 2 and the 3 apart. That can't be a 6 now, so that's 4 and a 6. It's a 6, well, 5 can't go next to 4 or 6. It's the same trick as we had up there somewhere, I think. This is just, and I can totally understand why somebody has solved this and just fallen in love with it, because it's beautiful. Right, and for our next deduction, what are we going to think about? Maybe where 7 goes in this box? Nearly. I don't think there is a restriction on either of these squares, though. What about 6 is in one of those 2 squares in box 3? Oh, 1 is not there anymore. Is there any more bigger restriction on 1? 2. Oh, yes. Okay, it's 2 in this box is an easy win. 2 can't be in any of those squares, and it can't go there because it will be next to a 1 wherever the 1 ends up. So I think 2 goes in the corner, which is, it should really merit a song, but we don't know a song for 2 in the corner, so it doesn't. What are these squares now? They're a snooker maximum, are they? 1, 4, 7. Okay. Yeah, and they've all got gaps between them, so I think that's probably unresolved. Okay. What about... There is a 6 and an 8 down here. So that's not 8, is it? That's 4 or 9. I can't see how to do that either. Bother. Shall we try 4? 4 in this box at the top is there. That's just Sudoku. Now, oh, that's great. So that's 9. Now, what do we need at the bottom of this column? 3 and 5. Surely resolved. So, no, actually, I've got to be a bit careful there. I was about to say you can't put 3 next to 9 because 9 is a multiple of 3, but that 9 is not in a circle, so that doesn't apply. At least I don't think it does. So these squares now are what? They are 6, 8 and 2. Now we can't put 8 next to 9. Oh dear, I can't see how to do that. I'm sure there is a way, I just can't see it. Right, what do we got at the top? 3, 5, 9. None of those are very useful, I don't think. We could, well, we can get this down to chocolate teapottage. No, we can do better. We can't put 4 next to 3 or 5, so that's 9. That's 5. That's 3. Oh, that's much better. That is much better. Now, are any of these options along here consecutive with one another? 4, 6, 9. No. No, that's annoying, and that's going to be a... Well, that can't be 9, actually. Oh, because I looked at the 8 rather than do the Sudoku, which is probably a bit... That's classic me. Yeah, that's a chocolate teapot, I think. Let's try these. 3, 7, 8. Oh, well, let's stop there. This time the 3 is behaving itself in an exemplary manner, and it's noticed that the 7 and 8 are trying to canoodle. So we've got to split them up. And no, maybe no. Okay, I thought that might do other tricks. Well, 1 and 2 are in this sequence, so now we need what's our gooseberry this time? 5. 5 has to chaperone the 1 and the 2. Hang on, how can this must resolve some way at the top. I'm going to get rid of that corner pencil marked 6. That's distracting me. Sorry, brief interruption there. A lot of excitement about Christmas, even though Christmas is... Well, oh, no, Christmas is only a month away. For some reason in my brain, Christmas is still remote, even though we're talking about advent calendars in today's video. But no, for some members of this household, it's a very urgent topic. Now, what were we doing? We put in some digits up here. We put in... Oh, we'd got rid of a 6 pencil mark, and we were going to look at... we're going to look at maybe... I don't know. I hate it when I get interrupted. We're going to look at... Don't let anything be consecutive with anything else. So, we can't put... Well, we can't put 1 in there. That will be next to a 2 then. Right, that's 8. Sorry, you've probably all seen that ages ago. 8 there, 7 there. So, actually, that's not doing as much as we might have hoped. 8, where's 8 in this column? It's got to be at the bottom, because it can't be next to 7. And that means... That is useful, is it? Yeah, okay. So now, if we look at take stock of where 8 is in this column, it's in bottom 2 rows, and where is it in this column? In the bottom 2 rows. So let's ask, therefore, where is 8 in row 7? Because it can't be there, it can't be there, can't be in those 2, so it's there. So that's 8, that's 6, which means this can't be 5. That can't be 6, I suppose. Yeah, we're not closing the gap as much as we might have wanted. What does that mean? So 6... okay, where is 6 in this box now? By Sudoku, it's got to be in one of these 4 squares, but it can't be next to a 7, so it's not going to be there. So it's one of these. It can't be next to a 7, so it's not there. So it's in one of those 2. I don't know which one, I think. Although we've got... Oh, no, I don't know which one. Okay, it must be this column then. So what have we got to put in here? We've got to put 2, 6, 8, and 9. Well, actually, I don't know. I'm just going to put that in. I mean, what can we get rid of? We can get rid of 8 and... Oh, that's it. This is a naked single. It can't be 6 because we've just said 6 has to be in one of those. So that's a 2. That is going to do work, isn't it? That's going to do work over here. Give me a 6. And that means this can't be 7. So this is 1, 4. We get a 7 in the corner. We get a 7 here, which by our pencil marking actually gives us a whole fleet of digits over on this side. Now we get 8 and 2. 2 can't be next to 3, so the 3 moves upwards. Oh, come on, this is, I'm sure this is resolved now. I just can't see why. That square is 4 or 5. It can't be 1. This 6 gives us a 9 at the top, so that's going to resolve the chocolate teapot up there. That 4 does this digit, which does this digit. That's going to do everything over on this side. That's going to finish the puzzle, I think. In this row, we've not put in 4 and 9, which we can now do. And we need 1, 2, this is a 1 or a 3, so that must be a 1. Or oh, we might get a 3 in the corner. What determines these last digits then? It's going to be... oh, it's this. Look at that. That's a deadly pattern, other than the fact this 4 pokes in and says this can't be 3. So we do get a 3 in the corner. That's got to be a 1. 1, 2, 2, 3. The last digit in the puzzle. Boom. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. Losing its religion. Let's see if it's right. Is it right? The solution is correct. 65 people in 7. Oh, this is an older puzzle. I didn't know that. 80 days old. Well, we have gone round the world in 81 digits with limiting factors. A beautiful, beautiful puzzle by Scruffamudda. I loved that. It's again, it is Miracle-esque, isn't it? It's sort of, there is a very surprising restriction on the even digit. If you put the even digits sort of in a checkerboard pattern in a box, they can only be 2 and 4, we discovered, and they can only be next to 7 and 9, and that was enough to basically propagate some logic through the grid. It's it's just an interesting idea, beautifully executed. Loved it. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.